Welcome back to Vintage Car Chronicles, your daily fix of all things classic car, and you can find us on Spotify, Deezer, Apple Music, and YouTube.
Every single day.
We're diving deep today into Pagani,
Yeah.
not just your average Italian supercar maker.
Oh, no.
These are like, I don't even know, automotive sculptures, pushing the limits of what a car can even be.
It really is that blend of technology and almost like obsessive hand craftsmanship. I think that makes them so unique.
Yeah.
You're not buying a car, you're buying into a piece of art.
It all starts with Horacio Pagani himself.
Me too.
This isn't like, some boardroom executive. We're talking a guy who was basically born with a wrench in his hand.
Yeah.
Building crazy cars in Argentina.
True.
Before most kids are like, getting their learner's permits.
It's almost innate. Like you look at his early work, the talent, the ingenuity. To build a dune buggy from a scrapped Renault, that's something else.
It's that drive, right, that led to Italy, ends up at Lamborghini in the 80s.
That's right.
Dream job for any car nut.
It was, but it was more than just a job for him. This is where his expertise in composite materials really takes off. He plays a key role in the Countach Evoluzione, a concept car entirely built from composites, unheard of at the time.
Ahead of its time.
It was a glimpse into the future of car construction.
But even Lamborghini wasn't quite ready for all of Horacio's ideas.
No.
They actually turned down his proposal to use their V12 engine.
Yeah.
In his own supercar design.
Can you imagine passing on that?
That's crazy.
Missed opportunity for sure.
Talk about a missed opportunity.
Yeah.
But, that rejection, that's fuel for Horacio's ambition. Founds Pagani Automobili in 1992, sets out to create something extraordinary.
And he takes his time. Years of work, meticulous planning. And then, in 1999, the Pagani Zonda C12 debuts at the Geneva Motor Show. It wasn't just another supercar. It was a statement, a shock to the system. The design, breathtaking, drawing inspiration from jet fighters, even the Sauber Mercedes Silver Arrows of Group C racing. But beyond the looks, it was the performance.
Driven by a Mercedes-Benz AMG V12.
Yeah, made jaws drop.
A beast, but a beautifully engineered one.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, the stories you hear, obsessed over every detail.
Every detail.
Lightweight materials, pushing the limits of what was even possible. I heard somewhere that the Zonda's titanium bolts, each one, tiny works of art, cost like $80 a piece.
There's that Pagani ethos. Every part, even the smallest, has to be both functional and beautiful.
Yeah.
There's a philosophy, almost a spiritual connection between art and engineering that you find in every Pagani creation.
And the Zonda wasn't, a one-hit wonder.
No.
Over the years, you got the Zonda S, the track-focused Zonda R, the limited edition Zonda Sync, each one refining, pushing the envelope further.
And it wasn't just about boosting performance. They used these iterations to experiment, to innovate. The Zonda R, it was like a rolling laboratory for testing new materials like carbitanium, woven carbon fiber in titanium. The result.
Incredibly light, absurdly strong.
And then, 2011, they unleashed the Huayra.
Yeah.
Forget supercar.
This thing was like a spaceship.
This thing was out of a sci-fi movie. The active aerodynamics were mind-blowing, adjusting on the fly.
Glued to the road.
Twin turbocharged V12 engine, over 700 horsepower.
The Huayra, masterpiece of design and engineering. Every detail, meticulously crafted. Even the leather, sourced from cows raised at high altitudes to reduce stretching. Talk about attention to detail.
Insane commitment to perfection.
It really is.
And they didn't stop there. The Huayra BC, a track-focused monster over 740 horsepower, even more extreme aerodynamics.
Yeah.
Like they took everything to the next level.
Always pushing the boundaries. And then there's the Huayra Roadster,
Yeah.
somehow even more extreme than the BC. I mean, convertibles are rarely lighter than their coupe counterparts, but they did it.
It's amazing how they do it. Their mastery of materials, the engineering, to create a car that open yet that rigid and powerful. It defies expectations.
Over 750 horsepower.
The Huayra Roadster isn't just a car, it's an experience.
And just when you thought, okay, they're done with the Zonda, they dropped the Zonda HP Barchetta in 2017. Roofless beauty, monstrous 789 horsepower engine, a fitting farewell to an icon.
It was a beautiful send-off, a celebration of the Zonda's legacy.
And they keep the surprises coming.
They do.
2019, the Huayra Roadster BC arrives, redefining what a convertible supercar could be.
The design was aggressive, the aerodynamics cutting edge, and of course that impeccable attention to detail.
Yeah, never disappoints.
It really showcased the incredible evolution of the Huayra line. Each version building upon the last, pushing boundaries, exploring new territories in design and engineering.
And then 2020, they hit us with the Huayra Imola, track-focused monster, named after the legendary Imola circuit.
Over 820 horsepower, a massive rear wing, a diffuser that could, I don't know, suck the asphalt off the
It
track.
was built for speed.
Pure speed. It was like they sculpted the car from the wind itself. Every curve, every vent, it all served a purpose.
And just when you think it can't get any wilder, 2021, they unveil the Huayra R.
Track-only hypercar, this was a different beast altogether. They ditched the turbochargers for a naturally aspirated V12, screaming to 9,000 RPM, a symphony of sound.
Pure racing heritage, stripped down to the essentials, light as a feather, and that engine. A pure expression of speed and performance.
It really was.
And then, with the Zonda and Huayra achieving legendary status, they usher in a new era, the Utopia, 2022.
The Utopia, a masterpiece embracing the future without abandoning Pagani's core values.
Yeah.
It's a fascinating statement, celebrating the internal combustion engine but meeting modern standards. A twin-turbocharged V12, over 850 horsepower. It's a testament to their ability to adapt, to evolve.
And here's the kicker. It has a manual gearbox option.
It does.
In a world where supercars are getting more and more automated.
It's a nod to the purists, those who crave that raw mechanical connection between driver and machine.
It's those thoughtful details, that dedication to the driving experience that makes Pagani so special. Not just about the technology, it's about the soul of the car.
Absolutely.
Before we get too deep into the Utopia, though, I think it's worth taking a step back.
Yeah.
Appreciating the man behind it all,
Of course.
Horacio Pagani. His journey is as incredible as the cars he creates.
It really is a story that deserves its own deep dive.
From those early days tinkering in Argentina
Yeah.
to his time at Lamborghini, pivotal time.
It was.
It's clear, his passion, his talent, destined for greatness.
Absolutely.
Moving to Italy in the early 80s, turning point. At Lamborghini, he hones his skills,
Yeah.
gains invaluable experience working with those composite materials, which, become a signature element of Pagani cars later on.
For sure.
But that time at Lamborghini, it was crucial. But it was the decision to venture out on his own that really let his vision flourish.
Right.
Pagani Automobili, born from that desire, creates something truly unique.
Yeah.
A company that pushes the boundaries of automotive design,
Yeah.
engineering.
Absolutely.
And that's exactly what he accomplished. When the Zonda debuted in '99, it was like nothing the world had ever seen. Bold's statement set the stage for Pagani to become one of the most revered supercar manufacturers on the planet.
It's a testament to his dedication, his vision, never settling for anything less than excellent. He didn't just build cars, he created a legacy, a testament to the power of passion and innovation.
And that's what makes Pagani so captivating. These aren't just machines. They're expressions of artistry, creativity, this relentless pursuit of perfection.
It all started with a young boy in Argentina who dared to dream big.
Let's delve a bit deeper into some of the key models that shaped Pagani's incredible journey.
Okay.
Starting with the car that ignited it all, the legendary Pagani Zonda C12.
Let's go. The Zonda C12, I mean, talk about a revelation. When it burst onto the scene in 1999, it was so different, from the supercars of that era. The sleek lines, the intricate detail.
It really did look like something from another planet. It just landed.
And then of course that heart-stopping Mercedes-Benz AMG V12 engine.
Oh yeah, people were mesmerized, not just by how beautiful it was,
Right.
but the sheer performance.
The performance was undeniable, 0 to 60 in just over 4 seconds. Top speed pushing 185 miles an hour. Serious numbers back then.
But it wasn't just, brute force.
No.
The Zonda C12, it was designed to be a driver's car.
It was.
Incredibly agile, responsive, and the sound of that V12,
Music to the ears.
music to any car enthusiast's ears.
One of the things that set the Zonda C12 apart, I think, was its use of composite materials.
Right.
Horacio Pagani was ahead of the curve in this area, and he used his expertise to create a car that was both incredibly strong and light.
Yeah, the Zonda C12, I think it weighed in at just over 2,700 pounds.
Yeah.
Significantly lighter
Than its rivals.
than a lot of its rivals at the time.
Yeah.
And that lightness, it translated into incredible handling performance on the road.
Oh, absolutely.
The Zonda C12, it was a limited production car. Only 5 examples ever built.
That's it.
Rare, exclusive masterpiece. But more importantly, it laid the foundation for what would become one of the most iconic supercar lineages in history.
Yeah.
Speaking of iconic lineages, the Zonda S arrived in 2000. Took everything great about the C12 and turned it up to 11.
Yeah.
Really?
The Zonda S was a significant evolution, you know. They took that AMG V12 engine, they bumped it up to 7.0 liters, gave it a power boost of 542 horsepower.
They also made some subtle tweaks to the aerodynamics, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, the revised rear wing and the front splitter made the car even more slippery through the air.
It's those little details, those
Yeah.
aerodynamic improvements coupled with that increased power.
It helped the Zonda S achieve even more mind-blowing performance, 0 to 60 in under 3.7 seconds, and a top speed exceeding 208 miles an hour.
Wow. And of course, no supercar is complete without a drop-top version.
Oh, come on. Who wouldn't want to experience the thrill of driving a 200-mile-an-hour convertible?
Right.
The Zonda S Roadster made its debut in 2003. In terms of performance, it was essentially identical to the coupe, a bit heavier, of course, because of the structural reinforcements needed for a convertible,
Yeah.
but still, it was an absolute rocket.
Oh, and let's not forget how stunning it looked.
Oh, come on.
With the top down.
Gorgeous. You know, one of the things I find fascinating about those early Zondas is their focus on pure driving pleasure.
Yeah.
They didn't have all the electronic gizmos, you know, the driver aids that you find in modern supercars.
It was all about the connection.
It was all about the connection between the driver, the car, and the road. And that's, I think, what made them so special. They were a true test of driving skill, a celebration of the visceral thrill of driving a high-performance machine.
That brings us to 2005 and the unveiling of the Zonda F.
Ah, yes.
Named after one of the greatest Formula One drivers of all time, Juan Manuel Fangio.
Who was a close friend and mentor to Horacio Pagani.
That's right.
The Zonda F was a fitting tribute to Fangio. It was the most extreme, the most track-focused Zonda to date. A whole host of aerodynamic and performance upgrades that made it an absolute beast on the circuit.
They managed to squeeze even more power out of that 7.3-liter AMG V12.
Yeah, pushing it to a staggering 594 horsepower.
And they didn't stop there. They also, they made significant improvements to the suspension, the brakes, the aerodynamics.
The Zonda F was a force to be reckoned with. On the track, it lapped the Nürburgring in just over 7 minutes, a record for a production car at the time.
And it looked the part, too. The aggressive bodywork, the massive rear wing.
Those signature quad exhaust pipes.
It was pure automotive aggression. Of course, Pagani couldn't resist creating a roadster version of the Zonda F as well.
Well, of course not. When it comes to Pagani, more is always better.
Right.
The Zonda F Roadster was just as capable as its coupe sibling, but with the added thrill of open-top driving, a truly exhilarating experience.
And then, just when we thought the Zonda had reached its peak, Pagani surprised everyone with the Zonda Sync in 2009.
The Zonda Sync, yes. A special edition car built to celebrate the 5th anniversary of the Zonda, a limited run of only 5 cars, hence the name Sync, Italian for 5.
Talk about exclusivity.
The Zonda Sync was an engineering marvel, truly. It featured a more powerful engine, revised gearbox, even more advanced aerodynamics.
They even went so far as to develop a new type of carbon fiber.
They did.
Called carbitanium, specifically for the Sync.
A blend of carbon fiber and titanium, even lighter and stronger than the regular carbon fiber used on the other Zondas.
That's Pagani, right?
It is.
That relentless pursuit of innovation. They weren't satisfied with just using existing materials. They wanted to create something even better.
Always pushing the boundaries.
The Zonda Sync, a true collector's item, solidified the Zonda's place in the pantheon of automotive greats.
Absolutely.
And as you might have guessed, they also built a roadster version of the Sync.
Of course they did. Because why not?
Why not, right?
A masterpiece deserves to be experienced in every possible way.
That's right.
The Zonda Sync Roadster was just as exclusive and desirable as the coupe. In fact, some would argue it was even more beautiful with the top down.
In 2010, Pagani paid tribute to the Italian Air Force's aerobatic team, the Fresh Tricolore, with a special edition Zonda called the Tricolore.
Ah, the Tricolore, yes. A visual stunner with a unique blue and white livery inspired by the Fresh Tricolore's jets. It was essentially a Zonda Sync underneath, but with some special aerodynamic refinements and a slightly more powerful engine.
Only 3 examples of the Zonda Tricolore were ever built, making it one of the rarest and most sought-after Zondas ever produced. A true unicorn in the world of supercars.
Absolutely. And then, in 2012, Pagani unveiled what could be considered the ultimate Zonda, the Zonda Revolution, essentially a track-only, no-holds-barred version of the the already insane Zonda R.
They pushed that AMG V12 engine to its absolute limit, extracting a mind-blowing 789 horsepower.
And they stripped out anything that wasn't absolutely necessary for performance, resulting in a car that weighed in at just over 2,300 pounds.
It was a featherweight monster.
A featherweight monster.
Yeah.
The Zonda Revolution, it was an absolute weapon on the track. It went on to set a new lap record for a production car at the Nürburgring.
It was a fitting end
Yeah.
to the Zonda era. The revolution, it represented the peak of Pagani's achievements with the Zonda platform. Years of innovation, refinement.
Yeah, it was a bittersweet moment.
It was.
The
Yeah.
Zonda had become a legend, and it was hard to say goodbye.
It was hard to say goodbye.
But at the same time, we were all excited to see what Pagani would come up with next.
And what they came up with next was the Pagani Huayra.
The Huayra.
A clean break from the Zonda in terms of design.
Yeah.
But it still carried that same Pagani DNA, that relentless pursuit of performance, technology, craftsmanship. The Huayra was unveiled in 2011.
It made a huge impact.
It really did. The design, it was inspired by nature, specifically the wind. I mean, the name Huayra actually means God of the Winds in the ancient Inca language.
It does. And the Huayra's design was incredibly aerodynamic, with active flaps that adjusted on the fly to optimize downforce and reduce drag, like watching a bird in flight.
And under the hood, another masterpiece from Mercedes-AMG, a 6-liter twin-turbocharged V12 engine, producing over 700 horsepower.
The Huayra was a technological tour de force, but it was also incredibly beautiful. Pagani never loses sight of the artistic side of their creations. The interior was a work of art, with intricate details and the finest materials.
The Huayra was a massive success, quickly became one of the most sought-after supercars in the world, but they didn't stop there.
They never do.
They continued to refine, improve the Huayra platform, creating a whole family of variants, each one more extreme, more desirable than the last.
It's remarkable, isn't it? Pagani, they never rest on their laurels. They're constantly pushing the boundaries, exploring new ideas, striving for perfection.
It's that constant evolution
It is.
that keeps Pagani at the forefront of the supercar world. Let's dive into some of these incredible Huayra variants, starting with the Huayra BC, which debuted in 2016.
The Huayra BC, named after Benny Caiola, Pagani's first customer, a close friend of Horacio. It was a track-focused version of the Huayra, and it was even more extreme than the standard car. They took that already potent AMG V12 engine and cranked it up to over 740 horsepower.
And they didn't stop there. They gave the Huayra BC a host of aerodynamic upgrades.
A massive rear wing, an aggressive front splitter.
But perhaps the most impressive aspect of the Huayra VC was its weight reduction.
Oh, yeah. They went through the car with a fine-tooth comb, stripping out everything that wasn't essential for performance.
The results: a car that was over 300 pounds lighter
Wow.
than the standard Huayra.
It was an absolute monster on the track. It could lap the Nürburgring in under 7 minutes.
The Huayra BC was a limited production car, only 20 examples ever built. Rare, highly sought-after machine, a true testament to Pagani's commitment to pushing the limits of performance.
And then, in 2017, they unveiled the Huayra Roadster.
Yeah.
This wasn't just a Huayra with the roof chopped off. It was a completely re-engineered machine.
The Huayra Roadster was even more impressive than the coupe. They actually managed to make it lighter than the coupe thanks to the use of a new type of carbon fiber called carbitanium.
Carbitanium is a fascinating material. A blend of carbon fiber and titanium, incredibly strong and lightweight, a perfect example of how Pagani is always pushing the boundaries of material science.
The Huayra Roadster wasn't just lighter, it was also more powerful than the coupe.
Yeah, over 750 horsepower on tap. And the aerodynamic design was even more sophisticated, with active elements that allowed it to generate incredible downforce even with the top down.
It was a technological marvel,
It was.
a testament to Pagani's engineering prowess.
Yeah.
But it was also a work of art. The lines, they were flowing and elegant. The details were exquisite. And the overall impression was one of breathtaking beauty.
It was a car that was designed to be enjoyed on both the road and the track. A car that could turn heads at a concours event and set lap records at a circuit.
And then, just when we thought Pagani couldn't possibly top the Huayra Roadster, they went and unveiled the Huayra Roadster BC in 2019.
The Huayra Roadster BC, the ultimate expression of the Huayra platform.
Yeah.
It combined the open-top thrills of the Roadster with the the track-focused performance of the BC. It was a car that had it all.
They somehow managed to squeeze even more power out of that AMG V12.
Over 790 horsepower.
And they didn't stop there. They made significant improvements to the aerodynamic, suspension, and brakes.
The Huayra Roadster BC was a limited production car, only 40 examples ever built, a rare and highly sought-after machine, a true collector's item.
And then in 2020, Pagani unveiled another special edition Huayra, the Imola.
The Huayra Imola, named after that legendary Imola circuit in Italy. A fitting tribute to the car's track-focus capabilities.
The Huayra Imola featured a host of aerodynamic upgrades, including a massive rear wing, a redesigned front splitter, and a new diffuser.
It also had a more powerful engine than the standard Huayra, producing over 820 horsepower.
Wow. Only 5 examples of the Huayra Imola were ever built.
5.
Making it one of the rarest and most desirable Huayras ever made.
Absolutely. And then in 2021, Pagani unveiled the Huayra R, a track-only hypercar that was designed to be, the ultimate expression of the Huayra platform.
The Huayra R featured a brand new, naturally aspirated V12 engine developed in collaboration with HWA AG, Mercedes-AMG's motorsport partner.
This engine was a screamer, producing 850 horsepower and revving to a stratospheric 9,000 RPM.
The Huayra R was also incredibly lightweight, thanks to the extensive use of carbon fiber and other exotic materials.
A true track weapon, limited to just 30 examples.
And that brings us to 2022. And the arrival of the Pagani Utopia, the latest chapter in the Pagani story.
The Utopia, it's a fitting name, isn't it?
It is.
It represents the culmination of everything that Pagani has learned over the past 3 decades. A car that blends cutting-edge technology with old-world craftsmanship. A car that is as beautiful to look at as it is to drive.
The Utopia is powered by a 6-liter twin-turbocharged V12 engine, developed by Mercedes-AMG specifically for Pagani. This engine produces over 850 horsepower, and it's mated to either a 7-speed automated manual transmission or, and this is the really cool part, a good old-fashioned 6-speed manual transmission.
A manual. That's right. In an era where supercars are becoming increasingly automated, Pagani is giving a nod to the purists who appreciate the art of driving a manual transmission. It's a bold move, and it speaks volumes about Pagani's commitment to the driving experience.
Absolutely. The Utopia is a car that's designed to be enjoyed on both the road and the track. It's a car that can handle anything you throw at it. And it's a car that will make you smile every time you get behind the wheel.
But the Utopia is more than just a sum of its parts, It's a car that represents Pagani's vision for the future of high-performance automobiles. It's a car that shows that it's possible to have incredible performance without sacrificing beauty, craftsmanship, or the joy of driving.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say that the Utopia is a worthy successor.
It is.
To the Zonda and the Huayra.
Absolutely.
It's a car that will continue to push the boundaries of what's possible in the world of supercars.
And it's a car that will inspire a whole new generation of automotive enthusiasts.
Now, before we wrap up our deep dive into the world of Pagani, I think it's important to take a moment to appreciate the people who make these incredible machines possible.
You're absolutely right. It all starts with Horacio Pagani, the visionary behind it all. His passion, his dedication, his unwavering pursuit of perfection. They're the driving forces behind everything that Pagani does.
But Horacio Pagani, he's not a one-man show.
Yeah.
He's surrounded by a team of incredibly talented engineers, designers, craftspeople who share his passion and dedication.
These people are the heart and soul of Pagani. They're the ones who bring Horacio's vision to life, and they're the ones who make sure that every single Pagani car is a masterpiece.
They're artists.
They are.
They're engineers, artisans, all rolled into one. They work tirelessly to create cars that are not only, incredibly fast and beautiful, but also built to the highest standards of quality and craftsmanship.
It's that combination of passion, talent, and dedication that makes Pagani such a special company.
I think it's also important to mention the Pagani customers, the passionate individuals who appreciate these incredible machines and help to keep the Pagani dream alive.
Absolutely, Pagani owners. They're a special breed. They're not just buying a car. They're buying into a lifestyle. They're joining an exclusive club of discerning individuals who share a passion for automotive excellence.
And Pagani, they go above and beyond to foster that sense of community.
You do.
You know, they host exclusive events for their owners. They create bespoke experiences. They make sure that every customer feels like they're part of the Pagani family.
It's that personal touch
Yeah.
that really sets Pagani apart from other supercar manufacturers. They're not just building cars, they're building relationships.
It really is inspiring, you know?
Yeah.
Pagani, it kind of reminds us that cars can be more than just transportation.
More than just getting from A to B.
They can be art, passion projects. They can embody an entire philosophy.
It's that blend, isn't it? The heart and the engineering that's just so compelling.
Yeah.
But looking ahead, moving towards this electrified future.
Yeah.
The question is, how does a company like Pagani, so rooted in that soul of the internal combustion engine, adapt?
That is the million-dollar question, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, we've already seen them embrace new materials, cutting-edge aerodynamics, but can that Pagani magic translate to an electric powertrain?
It's a challenge, no doubt. Part of Pagani's allure, I think, is that visceral connection to the engine, the roar of that V12, the feel of the manual gearbox.
Yeah.
Replicating that in an electric car.
It's tough.
It's a tall order.
You're right. The sensory experience, it's so central to their cars. But, I have faith.
Oh, yeah.
I have faith in Horacio Pagani. This is a guy, remember, built a dune buggy from scrap metal.
Right.
Revolutionized composite materials.
He's not afraid of a challenge.
Never shies away from a challenge.
And they've already, dipped their toes into electrification, haven't they, with the Huayra BC Roadster?
Right.
Which had that mild hybrid system.
Yeah. It wasn't about pure electric power, but it showed they're willing to experiment.
Exactly. It's about enhancing that driving experience the Pagani way. And when you consider the potential of electric powertrains, the instant torque, the precise control, there's room there for some truly mind-bending performance.
Yeah.
That could align with Pagani's pursuit of speed.
Imagine an electric Pagani.
Okay. Yeah.
That's not just fast, but incredibly agile, responsive, maybe even quieter, so you can hear the wind rushing over that sculpted bodywork.
Now that's a thought. It wouldn't be a direct replacement for their V12 masterpieces, but a new chapter exploring different facets of performance and driving pleasure.
It makes you wonder, what would a Pagani electric hypercar even sound like?
Right.
Would they create a synthesized symphony of electric motors, or would they embrace the silence? Let the wind and the tires compose the soundtrack.
That's the beauty of it, isn't it? We don't know. Pagani's full of surprises. They might go in a completely unexpected direction, redefine what an electric supercar can be, just like they did with the Zonda and the Huayra.
Yeah, whatever they do.
Yeah.
I have no doubt it'll be a testament to their artistry, their engineering, that unwavering commitment to pushing the boundaries of what's possible.
Couldn't agree more. And as we wrap up this deep dive into the world of Pagani, I think it's worth leaving our listeners with this.
Yeah.
Keep an open mind. Embrace the unexpected. And never underestimate the power of passion to fuel innovation.
It's great advice. So much of Pagani's success, it comes from that unwavering passion, that refusal to compromise on their vision. It's a lesson we can all apply to our own lives, whether we're designing cars or pursuing any dream, really.
Well said. And who knows, maybe one day we'll be back here doing a deep dive on the first electric Pagani hypercar.
That will be something else.
Until then, keep those engines revving, those imaginations firing, and always keep an eye out for those rolling sculptures on the road.
Thanks for joining us on this journey through the world of Pagani. And remember, there's a new episode of Vintage Car Chronicles waiting for you every day on Spotify, Deezer, Apple Music, and YouTube.
Every single day.
Until next time, happy driving.